So, when you're making house music, you want sort of an upbeat tempo, right? Typically, you aim for somewhere between the 110 and 130 mark. And today, I think we're gonna do 125. I'm feeling a little more upbeat, but not too crazy. So, typically, when you're doing house music, the first thing that you want to start with is a nice four on the floor kick. So that's what I'm going to do here in an audio channel. I'm going to take this kick that I prepared ahead of time, um, and we're just going to do a couple bars of that. Actually, on second thought, so I'm going to turn this into a loop. To start off, we've got a kick here. And now, what I'm going to do preemptively is set up a little reverb channel here, and instead of doing the regular reverb that's automatically in like defaulted in this channel, I'm gonna go into the audio effects and take the where is it reverb. We're gonna do the hybrid reverb and replace it. So what it does with the hybrid reverb, it is kind of it takes a more systematic approach to converting like the proper sound into its reverby sort of sound. I'll show the difference here with I'll throw a regular reverb back on it. So if you have a regular reverb on your kick drums, it kind of sounds weird. I'll play that for a second. Oh. It kind of gives like a weird sort of ringing sound afterwards, which we don't really like too much. So instead, there's the reverb called hybrid. I can't speak. The hybrid reverb, which when you have it selected in this channel, it makes it sound more like how you would assume a drum would sound in a room type thing. So it's less it feels more real. It not sort of I don't know the word I'm looking for, but yeah, anyways. So this is our start here with a four on the floor kick. Every single house song uses this convention. I'm gonna add in a couple audio tracks preemptively for our other drums. And if we go back into our downloads where I have my pre-selected noises, we're gonna drop a snare on beats 2 and 4 here. So that's kind of the simple basis of it, but To make things simpler, you can find hi-hat loops, which kind of fill in the gaps. You can find little hi-hat, top loops on like anywhere realistically, but like on a splice or anything like that. And I've found a little drum top here for demonstration purposes. So, like I said previously, very simple beat. You can add little extra bits and bobs to make it give more character, but you don't want to go too crazy with the drums. You want to leave room for the other sounds to shine through. So we could add like an open hat or something here. Alright, so that's kind of all you really need for the percussive aspect of a house track. And next up, we would typically look for kind of a melodic start. So I previously prepared a ARP sound, which I'm going to demonstrate how to like chop it and use it as its own unique sound rather than necessarily making it, because you can use lots of house songs use sampled sounds and spliced audio. So that's what we're gonna do today for at least this portion of it. So I've got my Serum ARP that I made earlier today. Now, one thing I'm curious to is if we duplicate the kicks here. It's kind of neat, actually. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of fooling around with some of these drums to get a sound that I like. right. And that's without the extra little noises there too. So I've already got something going here. I'm gonna add these back temporarily. I don't know how I feel about them yet, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun. Let's do some. Let's open some room in our little ARP sample that we added earlier. What if we do this here? Yeah, I'm not liking these hi-hats or the open hats. I think they've got to be on the offbeat. So I'm going to adjust it to that. So let's throw an EQ on this thing here, on this audio sample. There are some regions that I like and some that should be lowered. Alright, that's now starting to sound a little bit better, but what we can do is throw on a compressor or a glue compressor for a sidechain, which we're going to select the input as a kick, or as the kick, I should say. Also gonna duplicate that and throw it on our top sample here. So already we're starting to get sort of the basic structure. Like this on its own is, or it could be a song, but we're gonna add a little bit more to it here. And for today's demonstration, I figured I'd go over how to make a sound in Serum, kind of. So that's what we're gonna do. So in this MIDI channel here, let's go to your plugins. You can use any synthesizer that you want, or just any sound that you want, but today we're going to be making a sound. So I'm going to open up Serum, if it wants to open up. There we go. All right, so when you open up Serum for the first time, it starts you off in this kind of basic intro patch with literally nothing selected. So if I were to, say for example, play a note, it's just the we've got the wave here, the default wave. So we're gonna do some experimenting here. Let's have a look at the side here. So we've got some noise. Now, if you turn that on and make a couple adjustments, let's turn the level up a little bit. I'm gonna adjust the pitch, because why not? Just fooling around. Now there's like a little bit of a noise. I don't necessarily like this tone. Let's select through, see if there's anything that we like. See, I like this one here, the bright white. It's a little bit obnoxious, but it's got a kind of cool sound. So now, if we look here, this is your initial oscillator. So this Serum is basically a synthesizer where you combine different oscillators and envelopes and LFOs and adjust all of the features to design your own sounds. It's similar to like those big Euro rack sort of boards that you might have seen before, but it's kind of its own little environment. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. So if we look at the first oscillator here, we've got a lot to work with, including a bunch of other things here. I think for today I'm going to keep it simple and throw on basic shapes. That's quite airy. But what we can do is individually adjust the waveform. Let's look at the second waveform here, and this guy. Why not? Let's make it all squiggly. So now we've got a different shape that sounds like this. So that's a unique sound on its own. And the fun part is if you combine it with another oscillator, let's say, and let's go through some of these. You know what? Let's just take this one here, and let's redraw this too. Why not? Let's just start with one of these guys. Let's make it come back up a little bit. Then it drops back down. Yeah, why not? Cool. There's another shape. That's kind of unique. I like it. So what else? What else can we do with this? I don't know. Let's have a look at the unison. Let's turn it all the way up. Let's do 14. Oh. So what unison is it's basically the amount of voices. It kind of gives like a choral effect, but you can adjust the detuning of each of those notes. So now we get kind of a cooler sound. Nice. And I think we'll just keep this one on the second oscillator kind of the same for now. But let's have a look down here at the LFOs. Basically, these are oscillators that you can use to modulate any of these sounds. So if we have a look at this first LFO, it's pretty simple, but you know what? You can go a long way with this sort of oscillator shape. So let's adjust the rate here. We'll slow it down. What else? I don't know. I don't want to go too too crazy with this, but what we can do is drag this oscillator up to, let's say, up here. Now we're getting some sort of weird pitch shifting going on, which I think is kind of cool. We can adjust how the LFO sounds. So now it doesn't oscillate too much. But say, for example, we take a different oscillator like LFO3 here, and we crank the rate up. And let's say we throw this onto, I don't know. Let's throw it on this guy here. And on this guy up here. Maybe not that one. But yeah, you can basically fool around with this quite a bit. Let's throw a filter on it too. Why not? With a low cutoff. I think just for reasons of it being a little pitchy, we're gonna adjust it to keep it more neutral, I guess. What else can we do? Let's throw on some voicing, keep it mono, make it legato. Let's click always and turn up the port time. So now you kind of get a little bit of a wobbly noise going on, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah. Now we got a silly little sound that took way too long to make, but it was a lot of fun. And what can we do with that? Well, let's draw in a melody here. We gotta kind of add a little bit of a counter melody to what we've got going on, which is already kind of groovy, but we need to fill in some more gaps. So let's start with just adding in a empty MIDI clip. And let's add in a melody. So, what should we do here? I don't know. That's kind of groovy. So we can take this, similarly, just, oops. Throw a little bit of reverb on that too. What else can we do with this? It's groovy and all, but we should add a little more character to it just to make it more interesting. So let's throw in a, you know what, let's drop the octave and make it kind of do like a little swoopy note to start. Nice. Let's shift this over. Let's do a double note here. All right, we got some syncopation going on, which is fun. Yeah. What else can we do? So now's the part where you basically just have a little bit of fun with it. Let's do another octave drop. But once we get up here, let's change this up. Let's do like a little 4 count there. I think that could be fun. Then we'll drop back down the octave. Let's see how this sounds. So Serum's not necessarily doing what I want it to do, but we can adjust that. Got a cool little noise there. That's fun. Okay, what should we do for this? We've already got a little bit of a reverb on it. I don't want to go too crazy with the reverb, but we could throw a delay on it, which we actually do have set up in this channel by default. So I can honestly just turn that up, throw on a ping pong. Cut out some of the lows. similar to before. We'll throw the same sidechain compression on that. Awesome. Got a little bit of a groove going on there. So what else can we adjust here? What if we do MIDI control and further pitch bend this note here? Cool. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of this already, actually. What else can we do? We'll go back to the delay channel here, change up the what else can we do here? Let's group these tracks together. So now I'm kind of just fooling around with it. That's basically just, that's all you really need for a house track. But let's not end there. Let's throw something else on this, have a little bit of fun. Oh, I know what to do. Let's throw a Redux on there. Bit crush the Serum, the kind of annoying lead. Awesome. Okay. So now, how would we go about arranging something like this? Well, this is what I'd recommend doing. We're going to start by moving everything over, and I'm going to start with just a kick and the snare. And then what we're going to do here is take our, not our top drums. Oops, did not mean to delete the whole channel. We're going to take our preset ARP and throw on another EQ. Not going to mess with this one, but we're going to do another EQ just to modulate the fade in, basically. So it's going to start down here. And we're going to keep this in. And oops, we're going to turn off the keyboard and turn on the automation for this channel. We're going to take the frequency A, which is currently set to 86 Hertz, and let's say around this bar we're going to bring it up just a little bit, and then EQ8 device on. We're going to turn it off after this. So this is what that should sound like. Cool. Well, that's basically it, honestly. I don't have too much else to add, but that is how you make a very simple but also very groovy kind of deep house beat. Um, yeah, that basically concludes the tutorial. But um, yeah, thanks for tuning in. I believe next week it'll be uh, either Yusuf or Alex, and I'm not too sure if they're gonna do a house beat. They might do something else. But yeah, feel free to tune into that. Give them support. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Have a good rest of your week.